Ladies and gentlemen, the Nintendo Switch generation is almost over. Like, we're moving into the Nintendo Switch 2 generation, but the Nintendo Switch still has tons of games that are amazing, that are hidden gems, that I have not talked about yet. I've made a bunch of hidden gems videos, and there's still even more, and there'll probably be more for the next 10 years. That's how many hidden gems are on this dang console. So in this video, we're going to go over even more amazing hidden gems that you should be playing. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So there's a few kind of hidden gems, right? There's this hidden gem right here. If you're unfamiliar, that's a hidden gem carry. There's also this kind of hidden gem, which could probably be like treasure or something. But there's also another kind of hidden gem, and that's a great video game that more people should play that kind of flew under the radar for one reason or another. That's the kind we're talking about today. There's truly like a bottomless amount of these games, and that's a great thing. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me if you consider joining this community. And let's just go ahead and get into this video. The first game we're talking about today is Black Book. This is a fusion of card-based RPGs and adventure games. Black Book is a haunting tale of a young sorceress who gave her life to serve the dark forces. You need to dive into the cold, yet alluring world of Slavic folktales and uncover the secrets that hide in the darkness. You're a young girl who is destined to become a witch, but you decided to throw that fate away and marry your beloved. But that dream is shattered when he dies under mysterious circumstances. Arching for your lost love, you'll seek out the Black Book, a demonic artifact said to be powerful enough to grant any wish to the one who uncovers all of its 7 seals. Join her in her adventures across the countryside as she solves the woes of the common folk by confronting demons and performing exorcisms. This game really has a lot going for it because it's got like this sad story, but it's kind of a revenge story, but it's also kind of like a horror thing going on. And I really like the art style here. It's almost like watercolored, or I'm probably not describing that correctly, but you can see the art style is really cool. And this is just a really neat game. Now let's talk about a cool game called Northgard. After years of tireless explorations, brave Vikings have discovered a new land filled with mystery, danger, and riches. This land is called Northgard. The boldest Northmen have set sail to explore and conquer these new shores, bring fame to their clan, and write history through the conquest, trading, or devotion to the gods. That is, if they can survive the dire wolves and undead warriors roaming the land, befriend or defeat the giants, and survive the harshest winters ever witnessed in the north. You need to build your settlement on this newly discovered continent. Assign your Vikings to various jobs, whether that be farmer, warrior, sailor, or lore master. I feel like, I would like to be the lore master. That's just laying down the lore. Maybe that's a lore of memes or video games. Probably not something as important as what the Vikings were doing, but a lore master nonetheless. I like games like this, it's kind of like Civilization or like Clash of Clans. I'm probably not giving you the greatest examples, but I like games where you start off small and keep expanding and building and fighting and taking over stuff, and yeah, this game is pretty cool. Now let's talk about a strange game that's great called Death End Request. This game takes the classic turn-based RPG and turns it on its head, allowing you to jump at will between the RPG action of the game world and the investigative visual novel segments of the real world. In the game world, players brawl in engaging RPG battles, blast enemies and chain your attacks with a knockback system, or switch game genres from RPG into fighting, shooting, slot, puzzle, and billiards. The choice is yours. A video game programmer receives a notification from an email sent to him by a colleague of his who went missing nearly 1 year ago. I don't want to spoil too much, but basically your colleague who went missing is now inside of that game, and you need to figure out how to get them out of there. Yeah, very cool concept, definitely worth checking out. Decarnation plunges you into a haunting, dreamlike adventure where reality and fantasy become one. It's inspired by some of the most influential surrealist works, so allow yourself to be swept away by an intense and mesmerizing story, oscillating between dreams and nightmares. This all takes place in Paris in 1990. Gloria is a cabaret dancer at the end of her rope. As her career, relationships, and self-esteem begin to deteriorate, A mysterious patron makes her an offer she can't possibly refuse. Will this event mark the end of her recent struggles, or the beginning of her descent into hell? This is a story of survival, where monsters and nightmares weave themselves into the fabric of everyday life. With a wide variety of minigames, Decarnation expertly brings together the classical elements of horror and adventure games, where each challenge requires consideration. You know that I especially love pixelated games. There's just something about telling a great story and having great gameplay with the pixelated art style, and this game is really going to surprise you. Stolen Realm is a simultaneously turn-based tactical dungeon crawling looter with action RPG elements where you can control up to 6 heroes, whether that be solo or through online co-op, venturing forth an adventure set in a high fantasy, low poly world. This game features an innovative turn-based combat system where simultaneously turns allow every team to take their actions at once, creating quick combat encounters that blend the tactical depth of titles like Divinity Original Sin with the thrill of a fast-paced action RPG. With a highly customizable class system, Stolen Realm allows you to create traditional RPG classes or break the mold to forge a unique champion of your own as you draw from the pool of hundreds of possible skills. Make a spell-slinging assassin, a priest-born of frost, or a shadow-infused knight. There's truly so many choices, and there's D&D-like events where tribute-based roles will have permanent effects on your character and add yet another layer to building a character that is truly your own. I love this, I don't want to say trend, but for the lack of better words, that's what I'll use. A trend of modern games with modern controls, but having like classic graphics and modern graphics at the same time. There's something nostalgic about it, right? But the gameplay is all updated and fresh, and you can play with 6 people in this game, and that sounds like a very fun time. Now let's talk about a really cool game called CorpoNation, The Sorting Process. Experience a linear, dystopian narrative in which you will work as a lab technician for a corporately owned state. Your job is to organize a mysterious collection of genetic samples and remain a model employee, in spite of the rebellious rogue workers that are trying to recruit you. The glorious CorpoNation is counting on you to work diligently and put your money back into the economy. So how do you remain a model employee? Well, work hard, sort through the genetic samples by their characteristics, making modifications where needed. And like I previously mentioned, put your money back into this economy. Use your wages to shop for items to decorate your room. But you also need to relax and unwind, chat with your colleagues, complete corporate surveys, and keep up with the news. This is one of those games that come along every few years that are just so outside the box that it's either going to be a disaster, like it doesn't make sense because they're doing too much, or it's going to be a gem. In this case, a hidden gem. This game is very, very cool, has a great concept. I love the art style of this one. If you can't tell, I'm a sucker for just weird art styles in games. But when you have the game and the charm and the mechanics and all the elements and the graphics, then you really have something worth talking about. And the last game we're talking about today is a game called Extra Coin. They have replaced the old world with a new one, supposedly a better one, as war tore the globe apart and overpopulation pushed humanity to the brink. A lifeline emerged, the arcade, a virtual world offering escape. In this digital utopia, everything is vibrant and shiny. Everything runs smoothly, or so we've been led to believe. Mika never trusted the arcade's ads, but unfortunately, her parents did. Hoping for a better life, they left without an explanation. Now she's stepping into the arcade to find them and uncover the truth behind its glossy facade. You need to explore the streets of this virtual world to discover everything it has to offer. From die-hard duelists to lazyheads, you'll find a unique crowd of people living here. Just be careful not to touch them in any way. It might trigger unwanted bugs. Now here's what's really cool. Every day is a loop, giving you the freedom to spend your time and choose your activities as you see fit. The arcade has a spot for all. However, keep in mind that slacking off won't go unnoticed. This is a really interesting game because it has this whole arcade thing going on where you can play games and explore and duel and just, there's so much really going on here. Really, it's an incredible concept and you do not want to miss this one. Ladies and gentlemen, some way, somehow, I'm still finding hidden gems on the Nintendo Switch. And the great thing is, we can play these on the Switch too as well. This is one of my favorite things to do, and I'm going to continue to do it as long as I can find games like this. So in the comments below, as always, let me know what you guys are thinking. And remember, if you made it to this part of the video, hit a like and subscribe. And follow me on Instagram and join this community. Because I would really love you to be a part of it. I think we have something really special over here. And you guys know me, I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.